Second, just let me go AFK.
Can we kick Forrest?
User was moved out of your channel.
Rip. After what he said, I don't have heart to rip into him.
All right.
Yeah, sorry boys, I ain't gonna do a lot of talking because I have pneumonia.
Yeah, you can just offer your small little tidbits. We need Freaky here. Freaky just logged on.
He's got to work in like 6 hours or something, so he doesn't want to stay up.
He has time to watch the stream though? Bastard.
Yep.
What a fucking scrub.
Okay, well, hey everyone. Nice
Okay.
meeting you in TeamSpeak as well, for first time, some of you.
Okay, let me start recording. Alright, so I'm recording. So, let us see. Mark, are you good?
Hello.
Are you there? Is everybody there? Fafa?
Yep.
Tess? Beast? Curt? Dongo?
Hello.
Alright, so we're good to go. Alright, so hello YouTube, this is TcThief and TcMeat here. This is a Rage Brothers broadcast. I'm gonna go ahead and, this is also a Twitch live stream. I'm gonna post the link to my YouTube channel down in the Twitch chat. If you want to go and follow the YouTube channel, we'll be posting videos from the YouTube channel. Go and like and subscribe and do all that bullshit. You can go talk shit to me on a different social media platform. Also, right now I have about 1 billion credits, and I'm planning on leaving the game. So if you post, if you're on the what server are we on? The Red Eclipse. If you're on the Red Eclipse and you post your tune name and you send me a mail to maybe Jack Strike Call. I might just send you credits and stuff if you go like and subscribe and you tell me that you did it on the YouTube channel. So right now, what we're going to do, this is like.
I need to interrupt.
What?
Don't just send mail. Send something that's funny. Make me laugh, and we'll give you fucking monies.
Yeah, definitely make me laugh. Tell Mark how shitty of a sniper with the iron sight sniper rifles he is, because he is really disgusting on the sniper class, man. Just totally terrible.
Make it Reddit post worthy.
Yes, and
Yes,
you have to put it in Reddit format, or I'm going to ban you from the YouTube channel. No, but really, yeah, I'm probably gonna get rid of some of these credits. I really just don't need them. It's dumb, so it's my way of giving back to the SWTOR community, because my issues isn't with the community. I really like the SWTOR community, but my issues is with the devs, and that's what we're gonna get into here pretty soon. So posting the link in the channel now. If you guys go like and subscribe, I'll love you for life. But right now, while I'm doing that, we're gonna go introductions. Each one of us is gonna go and say a little bit about themselves. We've got representation from both North America and EU servers. We've got some people that are raiding in what's left of the Nightmare community. I say that because I'm most of the Nightmare community has already left. But we have guilds from, guild members from Failure, from It's Lit, 405, Hates You, NGE, Disciples of Babylon, and that's, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I might be wrong. You could post a comment in the YouTube channel and tell me I'm fucking wrong, that there's some pub guild raiding Nightmare, getting shit done. I don't know, but yeah, go ahead and we'll start off with Mark, and I'll go last. So go ahead.
Hey, I'm a TcMeat or Cat-Like Thief, SWTOR Cat-Like Thief. From Hates You. Well, originally Provectus, and then morphed into Hates You, but I've raided with the Failure guys, and been raiding for a really long time. Kind of disgusted with the game right now. Anyways. Next, someone.
Don't all go at once. Fafa, you go next.
Raise your hand if you want to go. We gotta keep this under control.
I'll tweet you about it, no worries. Okay, so I'm Fafa, although I have a Russian accent, I am not Russian. Just to clear that up straight away, because people mix that up a lot. I used to raid, now I'm just a raider, hoping to actually not raid and do a bunch of PvP, because that's kind of interesting thing to do in this game, and that's pretty much it from me for now.
Beast.
Beastfury, everyone's favorite marauder and expert on going down on Tyrants. So, former Zorse member, former Hatred, currently raid with its lit and failure. That's about it.
Tess.
Oh my god, I wasn't prepared to introduce myself. Alright guys, I'm Tess. I am member of Disciples of Babylon, Nim Raider, and there's really not a lot else to say on that.
And we got Dongo.
I'm Dongo. Other people know me as Funky Phil sometimes. I'm a new GM of Failure, and I raid with It's Lit.
Sometimes you're known as Funky Phil.
Sometimes.
And then I think last but not least, Curt.
Yo, I'm Curt, currently sick, as you can tell by my voice. I'm the active grade leader / guildmaster of Not Good Enough and Friendly Fire.
All right, and you all know me. I'm
User
TcThief.
joined your channel.
I raided with. I started off with
User was moved
Pervectus.
out of your channel.
Pervectus turned into Hates You, and then I raided with Hates You for a while. I moved to Europe, and then I was raiding with Hates You and Not Good Enough at the same time, and Not Sleeping, not at all. And now I'm currently raiding with Not Good Enough and Disciples of Babylon. So now that introductions are out of the way, we want to get into the meat of this conversation. And basically the meat of this conversation is the death of the game. YOLO, one of my raiding buddies, we talked a while back, and he said the game was dead, months ago. And I really, at this point, should have listened to him, but I think like all of the people here, I could speak from my point of view, but I'm pretty sure that the people here would agree with me that they feel the same way. Is I wanted to believe that this game was going to go on, and I wanted to believe that these devs cared about the actual game and, not just digging their hands deeper in our pockets. But like at the end of the day, I think they're, a money-making corporation, and they have to do what's good for money. And I think it's at a point right now where not even right now. I think it's been at a point where catering to the Nightmare Raiders is not monetarily wise. So and they keep saying, hey, we're going to do new raids, and we're gonna do a live stream talking about group content, but it just never happens. So I'm at a point where in my SWTOR career, in the words of YOLO, where I'm gonna speak to the devs with my wallet, and I'm not gonna speak to them anymore. I made posts on fucking Reddit about group content, made posts on Twitter. We got like 2,000 shares on Twitter about group content, and I just think it's futile at this point. So right now, at this point, I'm going to speak to the devs with my wallet, and I hope a lot of the players that see this stream, and then a lot of the players that listen to this stream will do the same. And money talks, and I think that is going to be the best way ahead. So getting into what I think the death of this game is, and I'll let the rest of the group chime in on this. So the big thing is the CXP. I think this is murdering the game, and it's not solely just because CXP. It is the combination of CXP and lack of group content for the past, since the Rebel was released. Was it like been 3 years since that? How long has it been, people?
2.5.
So 2.5 years we've been doing the same exact raids, and I think the CXP could have been a good thing if there was new group content and there was a reason to farm. But everybody in the group that is going to talk have completed every single raid on every single difficulty level, at tier after tier, buffed, nerfed, you know, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5.0. I know there's Conquerors of the Dread Fortress, Deposer of the Dread Masters, blah blah blah. You know, at level Dread Masters, and just so on. And it's we're just at a point right now where, in my opinion, nobody wants to farm, and like I'm taking lead with this, saying I fucking refuse to go in and farm raids that we have farmed for the last 2.5 years. So, I mean, while I'm taking a breath, I can let the others chime in on this, and I mean, probably Mark can follow me, and he feels similar. So,
Yeah, I can I can follow you up. When 5.0 launched, I went and leveled 3 characters, I think. And then I started to do some of the whatever the fucking CPX grind is, and I was like, what's the point of doing this? I don't understand. I'm not opposed to grinding. I played Final Fantasy 14 and it's a fucking grind fest. And I don't even mind it at all, as long as there's something to grind for. But grinding for something that you completed 3 years ago does not seem to me like the best way to go forward. You know, I get it, people want to see the fucking story, or they like the story, and that's great if that's the direction they want to go. Just be upfront. Just be like, yo, this is no longer an MMO. It's a single player game. Anyone else?
I can follow that up. That's the thing that mostly annoys me, is that now for basically 2 years now, we've been, basically, if you want to look at it, we've been paying an MMO sub for KOTOR and KOTOR 2, which, I mean, at the time when they came out, you know, they were great games. Like, you know, you could liken it to like $60. Well, that's like 4 months of subs. So what do you do with the other, you know, 8 months? So we're sitting here. Yeah, you can argue that we're not just paying for the story, we're paying for all the other stuff. But as a veteran player, we've already done that other stuff. All we're literally getting is the story. And for the people that the story even like goes towards, like the new players, like the past couple expansions have been specifically for new players who want story and everything. The fact of the matter is, they need to sub for 1 month and they get all that content. So the people that are actually willing to stay and sub aren't getting any content, whereas the people that aren't, that literally just need to play for 1 month, are getting the content.
yeah, I kind of agree with you there. Is any you guys feeling any different or the same, Fafa, Tess, and Curt?
Very similar. I mean, not much to specifically add. It's, I mean, it is literally what was said, and it is what it is. That is the life of this game, the undead life, if I can say so. And it is the direction they're taking. If like you look back, I would say everything started with, you know, the mastery instead of your aim, your willpower, removing the surge, simplifying the stats, because, you know, it's too hard for people to understand. That was their reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
I tend to agree there. Like, when the stats were simplified, it started to go downhill. When they introduced the discipline system, instead of leaving us with our skill trees, it was specifically stated that it was to help new players ease into the game and not be so confused by a multitude of choices on skill trees. And that's something that kind of rattled a lot of players from mainly the community I was part of at the time. And
PvPing at the time a lot.
I was PvPing quite a lot back in the times of 2.0 while raiding, so a lot of people were also upset about like the nerf of hybrids. I mean, like, while some people have very mixed opinions on hybrids, but they were also very, safe to say, pissed off that they were removed as well. And everyone just felt that by the time Shadow of Revan came around, we were happy that we got new raids, but there was no Nightmare announcements, and everyone was upset with that. And a lot of people, myself included, were looking forward and hoping to see a Nightmare Temple of Sacrifice, for example, but we didn't get anything like that.
Going
Yeah,
back,
they baited us into that though. They're like, oh yeah, it's coming, and then nope.
well,
I don't know.
So that'll lead me back into what Beast was saying. Like, I wanted to caveat, but this is my biggest issue with the game right now, and I'm probably not going to get all during the Bad Feeling podcast. Like, I was really emotional because I really love this game. This game is fucking awesome, and it has so much potential to go on. And I feel really strongly this is one of the best games that I've played, one of the funnest games. This is a game that I've made the most connections with the most people and had the most fun with, you know, a lot of my online friends and stuff. And this game has just been amazing, but we're at the point where the fucking devs are making announcements to announcements. Like, this is totally inexcusable. Like, to make an announcement to say that you're gonna make an announcement for group content like that, you are not doing anything there but stringing the community along. Like, in my opinion, they have no what's the word? No, like, I think they have no motivation or whatever, no intention on making new content whatsoever. My outlook is on this is I think they are stringing the community along as much as possible so they can get the most amount of money out of us as possible, and then shit can this game, you know, as soon as like it stops generating positive revenue. And that's how I feel. Just making an announcement to make an announcement is just fucking, it's simply ridiculous, man. And that's in my opinion.
I
Also,
mean-
the open letter
Who
from
haven't we heard from? Dongo, you said anything? I want to hear
Yeah,
from you.
Dongo needs to say something.
I'm about to say just the fact that they won't tell us what kind of group content, quotation marks, around it that they're going to announce. They always say like 8-man group content, but now they're not even saying that anymore. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be more uprisings and shit that they literally just reusing the same exact assets that they've been using from the old ops and shit. Like,
See, I mean, it's not going to be an op because literally, in order to make the entire raiding community, group community, story mode community, whatever, rejoice, like, single-handedly, is they just come out and say, you know what, we are working on a new op. Everyone will be happy. The people that want to leave, that because we're not getting a new op, will stay. Some people may come back, though, honestly, like, the longer they go without announcing a new op or coming out with a new op, the less and less people are going to come back, in all honesty.
Well, the
So,
thing
I
is, they
mean-
won't even give us, they don't even have to give us a time. It could be a year from now. All they have
Yeah,
to do
literally,
is say,
they just have to say,
hey,
we're looking into it, we're going to build a new op. That's all they have to
yes,
say.
that's all they have to say. And if they said that, I think I could get on board with staying with this game and hanging around. But I hear people all the time, and like, I understand where they're coming from, because I felt the same way for so long about this game. I wanted to believe that they care. I wanted to believe that they, you know, we're gonna make new ops. But we're at the point where it's like, it's done. It's like, you know, fucking, I should have got left with, you know, YOLO and the rest of the crowd.
User
But
joined your
you know,
channel.
we're at the point where it's like B said, the longer they go, the more and more people are not going to come back. You know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, Curt, how do you feel on all this? I mean, you've been like kind of standoffish with the game, and you've come, you know, maybe once a week and maybe more after 5.0 release, but you know, what's your take?
Look, my take on the whole thing is that ever since George Smith left them, like after 3.0, close to 4.0 around that time, they didn't have a great lead designer, and they still don't have any. Like, whatever they're making an announcement of, it's not gonna be an ops, because they don't have that caliber of coder, like, on their repertoire. Like, they don't have anybody who could possibly make it. So all of you that thinking that there's a raid coming, you're just fucking deluding yourself.
Yeah, like, I have to agree there, and that's another thing that I argue the point with people, these people that want to stay around and say, oh, there's gonna be new ops and there's gonna be announcement. I'm like, mate, they don't even have a fucking dev team for ops. That's something, organizing a dev team takes, you know, three months or so, and actually, like, getting you know, the content together and doing all the coding, that's, you know, that's another no less than 6 months, plus, you know, the shade tree ass bullshit testing they do on the PTS, where they only invite select people who typically aren't even fucking Nightmare Raiders to test the stuff. I mean, right there, you're looking at over a year, which would be fine if they said, hey, we don't know when it's going to be released, but we are currently actively working on it. But they're not. They're just saying, hey, we're going to make an announcement, you know, during this live stream. And it's just totally, it is totally uncalled for.
And I mean, see, the whole thing with the devs, ultimately, I mean, they're kind of put up as the poster children, because you know it's not necessarily their decision, it's their boss's decisions, and then they're pretty much the poster children that have to come out to the community and say things. But having them specifically lie to us, is also very aggravating. You know, I mean, we had the whole where they put Musco on, they said Galactic Command would have nothing to do with Cartel Market. And then, you know, a few weeks later they announced, oh, there's going to be Cartel Market packs. We had the whole fucking shitstorm with the Eternal Championship competition, where they specifically told us that it would be a competition just to feed their metrics. Because it wasn't until after the whole competition was over and the winners were announced, they told everyone that anyone who had been banned before, had any flags against their account or anything, were disqualified. They specifically did not mention it before because there would have been less people to feed their metrics.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing, is that BioWare wants to feed their metrics. You know, look at the whole with CXP. They had to nerf Elite, Global Elite CXP game. They had to nerf KP CXP game because that's all people were doing, and they weren't playing the new uprisings, that's replaying the chapters and everything, because they weren't feeding the metrics for BioWare to go to EA and be like, oh, look at how good we've done. We've created this new content. People are playing it. People are obviously liking it, so give us money. That, you know, that's the sad truth. Like, you have to look at it objectively. There's a reason. It's not just because the reason for it was that it's not fun. That's a bullshit response.
Well, so another thing, like, before we like get off this, another thing that really irks me about this stuff is they'll put out content and they'll really push it, but then they'll do something in the future that totally negates the content they put out. And I can give you the prime example right here. I'm not a Conquest player, but like I did a little bit of Conquest. There's Conquest guilds out there that this is all they do. So they introduced guild ships, right? And they introduced, with that guild ship, you can supply your guild on the planet you're at with orbital support. So your orbital, if you don't know, orbital support like buffs all of your main stats, you know, your health. And this was like really cool on, you know, when during the Gree event, like you can go with orbital support and you've got more health than, you know, the rest of your opponents or whatever. Or you can, like, we used to use it on what's that world boss, the purple shit, what's that thing called? Ancient Threat.
Ancient Threat.
Yeah, we used to go do orbital support with Ancient Threat, you know, and it was a cool thing. But then, like, no less than, whatever, 6 months later, they came out with the level sync, which totally negated the whole guild ship and orbital support. So basically now you can give orbital support, but it does absolutely nothing for you. So they spent all this time deving, you know, R&Ding for that shit, and now it's totally and utterly useless. You know, like, that just doesn't make sense to me.
Exactly, like the level sync as well. It kind of takes away from the reward of you reaching the max level, you getting your gear, and then being able to go back to like these other planets and just do the stuff that you wanted to do. But no, they've introduced a level sync, and in my opinion, that takes away, as I said, from the reward of you reaching max level, you getting your gear. Like, it makes your gear completely irrelevant. You could go on there naked with an empty main hand and offhand, and you'd be completely fine. And this can be proven by, like, for example, the Dark versus Light event and the leveling gear it gave you. It was empty, it had no mods and enhancements in, and 9 players out of 10 wouldn't even bother to put mods or enhancements in it. You don't need gear for this level sync, so it makes it kind of redundant. And I'm pretty sure that you could go to Yavin naked with your main and offhand, and you'd still kill the Ancient Threat. You'd still do a sufficient amount of damage because you just get bolstered stats. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Actually did that. Right now you can even 4-man it with a trick.
Yeah, it's just broken.
And I mean, they made the whole galactic command system to give solo players an opportunity for gear, but the problem is the solo players mostly play on planets that are level synced with heroics and shit like that. So it's like, literally, they made it so long to provide the new sub incentive. Whereas last patch we had the whole HK bonus items, HK bonus chapter, whatever. Now it's Galactic Command, where you have to be subbed in order to get your gear.
Yeah, I mean, but
Yeah.
what do those players even need the gear for, to be honest? If
Exactly.
those solo
Well, yeah.
players do not need 242 rated gear, they're not going to go into a nightmare operation.
Well, right now, gear is totally useless in all aspects of the game except rating. Rating is the only thing you need gear for because you get level sync everywhere. Maybe in ranked 4s, gear matters, but right now you're
Choices
bolstered.
matter.
You're bolstered. So I mean, you're bolstered in PvP. So like you have 130x. What do you call it? You have 130 health. What the fuck is this shit called?
Month 130k endurance.
Yeah, 130k endurance.
Health.
So like, the gear I'm wearing right now is pretty much like, unless you're a level 300 and RNGs, this has been good to you. Like, pretty much best in slot, and I'm at 118k on my sniper. You know, all I need is like some armorings from whatever, and we've beat everything in the game with that gear. So it's like, why get gear? It's fucking 118k. Like, I'm bolstered to 100, 130k in PvP. Like, what's the fucking point? So I don't know. Before we like come off this CXP, because like I don't want to sit here and fucking sling shit the entire time about CXP. Like, anybody have anything else to say about the whole CXP business before we go on to another point?
I have a point. It's not about CXP, but do you guys remember when you all had leveled 30 characters and they had the the new content that was basically level 30 more with LV or LVD, like Light vs Dark,
that was meme worthy.
And then they ruined your entire ability to alt in the next patch. Yeah.
It's fucking great, right? You're like, oh, this new content, can't wait to level again. Sweet. Anyways.
All right. So this is.
I mean,
go
one
ahead.
more thing. That's pretty much the theme for the past couple years, right? Just if you had fun doing it one time, why don't you do it again? How about that?
And pay for it again. I was just doing the calculations. I've been subbed from the beginning. How many of you guys have like unsubbed for a certain amount of time? I've unsubbed since literally December 2011. So that's 61 months, close to 61 months, which is like almost $1,000, $950 or something like that.
I've literally been subbed since the start as well. My sub's never been cancelled.
Yeah, my sub's never been canceled until 2 weeks ago when I logged in and I was like, I don't want to do this, because at the end of whatever I'm doing, I'll be literally doing the same thing I was doing a month ago.
Yeah.
Fuck this. I'm not doing this shit.
Well, CXP is just basically this grand epitome of clear lack of vision and direction that they have been showing past years, where there was no communication with any of the raiders or even PvP community, where they just straight up ignore any suggestion and just go on randomly do whatever they like to do based off, I don't know, let's say class balance, star parse numbers. When Sork, for example, had like some chain lightning bug proc and it was like very high, then for this expansion, for example, Sork is now bad shit for PV. It's like totally ruined because some guys just abused that bug with chain lightning proc, and that's what you get.
BioWare tries to put up the image that they communicate with the community. Like 4.0, they did one class balance patch, and then with that they did the survey or question or whatever, where they asked they asked the community, would they want big class balance patches that came less frequently, or smaller class balance patches that came more frequently. Like, everyone voted, we wanted the small ones that came more frequently, and then we never saw anything till 5.0. You know, and
Yeah.
then they put them up on the streams
They're-
where, you know, it's ask whatever question you want, we'll answer it, and then they nitpick specific questions and will refuse to answer some of the other questions.
They're all, look, we communicated. We just asked their opinion, but we totally went against everything they recommended.
Yeah,
They
that's
canceled the
fucking awesome.
class balance stream. They didn't even do it. They're like, oh, sorry, that's the only interesting one you guys want. Nah, fuck it, we're not gonna do it.
Yeah. So like
It's crazy, man.
getting
It's
off of
fucking crazy.
CXP, there's like two. I think one point I forgot. But somebody in the Twitch chat just said it's really funny that WoW is leading the MMORPG after 12 years of being in the game, and I mean it's really easy to know why they're leading. Other than having like so many subscribers, but I mean one of the reasons is they put out content on a regular basis. You know, I mean I hear Yellow all the time talking about, you know, all this content is released, you know, and they've released six fucking raids since, you know, Revan, and like we're here like doing Nightmare Bronzes, which I mean it's really fun, but not really. But
And I feel like we're not even being unrealistic. It's not like we're saying every week we want a new raid. It's just like be honest with us and just give us
I'd be happy
actual
with a year.
goalposts that you're gonna meet. You know,
A year. If they
Yeah,
were
exactly.
if they were true to their original commitment, then this is probably like right after I started the game, because I started DF, hard mode DF. They came out and they said we will never go more than a year without operations. I remember that like it was yesterday, and
They
they
said that twice.
yeah, they've just
Yeah,
not,
it was a promise that BioWare made.
yeah, they've just
Technically.
they've not
Te-
stayed true with that.
No, technically they stay true with that, because indeed it has passed like more than a year since they released anything new. Like
Yeah, it
there
hasn't
will
been
never be a
exactly
drought.
year.
Yeah, there will never be a drought of a year. There hasn't been exactly. It has been more. They technically have stayed true to their words. So
All right. So this is the last thing I'm going to say about CXP. I heard the devs say that what they say, RNG is exciting. Fucking, I don't know who told you that or who's the advisor up there that's telling you RNG is exciting. Whoever that is needs to be fired because they're wrong. RNG is not exciting. It is fucking extremely frustrating, especially for a raider. And the last thing about CXP is 300 levels. Come on, mate. 300 levels. Like, I mean, I haven't done the math or the statistics that it would take to get from level, 0 to 300. But essentially what they've done with the game right now is they have killed the ability for you to play on alts unless you're going to play in trash gear. Like getting BIS, like coming into this, if you farmed, I was BIS on everything I played. And that's like, probably, what is it? Maybe 8 or 9 or 10 advanced classes I was playing that I was best in slotted. But now, I mean, if you could get one guy BIS, like I would be highly surprised with 300 levels of CXP and RNG added to the mix. That is just like I'm flabbergasted to who's advising that this was a good idea. It just doesn't make sense.
yeah. I have something to add in about RNG. You know, you think they would have learned? They did learn because they changed the system. You guys remember in the very beginning of the game? I know it's a completely new dev team, but the PvP gear, the fucking
Champion log boxes.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Illum farming, and fucking lock boxes and shit. That was complete RNG, and they fucking changed that quick as shit, right? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I mean, because see, like no game's perfect. Every game's gonna have its problems. Honestly, the amount of overall disdain and absolute just hatred for the patch, these new expansions as they come out, it just keeps getting worse and worse.
Yes.
People, the White Knights all scream, we're the vocal minority and everything like that. Yet they continue to change the game, like.
Well, you're like, it can't get worse.
Yeah.
You're like, you say to yourself, like, it can't get worse than this, and then like a new patch release, and you're all, I was wrong. It did get worse. Like what?
Like, yeah, it literally gets worse. People continue to flame on the forums. The White Knights come out. They say, that we're the vocal minority and everything. But then, I mean, like, look what they did with Story. Instead of giving us, one chapter a month, they decided, you know what? They hate it. We're gonna have to give them all the chapters. Now, is that gonna work for Ops? No. all the massive amount of ops that the raiders that we had, they all left. They're gone. They left in 3.0. What most of them that stayed went in 4.0. More of them are going to continue to leave in 5.0. So yes, raiders are going to be the vocal minority now. There's like almost none of us left. So I mean, unfortunately, we have no power here anymore. But
what makes
I
us the
mean-
vocal minority, though? Why do you think that? I mean, I think it's because, like, number one, we've got so much money invested in it and so much time. Because I mean, these fuckers go by metrics, and you know you cannot put a metrics against 300 hours wiping on hard mode Revan. You know what I mean? You just can't do it because it doesn't work. Like, you
Is
have
it
to
like a numbers thing? Like, look, these 8 guys
Yeah.
played.
So
These other 300 guys fucking, they played the story for 1 month. But these other guys, these 8 have, been playing for 3 years, but,
yeah, they haven't done shit because they haven't killed anything, you know what I mean? But, like, it doesn't take into consideration the 300 hours that they've spent wiping on hard mode Revan, you know what I mean?
and the amount of
Brontos.
cartel coins you've bought just because you were sitting there fucking waiting for cooldowns or whatever, dude.
Yeah, but so I want to like unpack this into the next thing. And
Hold on.
Sorry.
Before we go into something else, we need to say something positive, so it's not just an hour of bitching. So does
Okay.
anyone have
Yes.
anything positive to say about the game as it sits right now?
Well,
Not all at once, though. Calm down.
You guys go first. Let me think about this because there was some good stuff, and I was like, this is really cool.
I mean,
honestly, I do like with each patch there tends to be some type of new ability or some type of addition to the class that helps, rework rotations and everything like that, so it's not completely stale. So I do enjoy that.
You like the Merc changes, that Merc bubble?
Well, don't talk about that. I'm gonna get into that. Don't start. Nobody talk
said
about Reflect.
rotational, mate.
Nobody talk about Reflect.
Okay, but Jack, do you want to keep this PG-13?
No, you say whatever
Or
you
not?
want. It's for my YouTube channel. It's
Okay.
adult.
Kill. Because when you said that devs have said on their stream that RNG is exciting, at that moment I just came a little. So that's my positive thing about it.
I
While
mean,
you guys
like,
think about some more positive things, I'll be right back after something.
I mean, a positive note that like it's not so much. I mean, like we're all playing this game because it's Star Wars, and it was in its time awesome. One of the things that this game has brought that has been incredibly positive, like for me as well, is like it does create a lot of new friendships. You meet a lot of new people, and you learn a lot more. I think that's a positive note. Also, it's just something that you can do when you're bored, even though there's not really anything new to do, and I disregard story completely because that's not. It's just rehash content. You can see it in the mechanics, but it definitely is a time sink when there's nothing else to do, and it has brought a lot of friendships for me personally. So that's a positive note I can think of.
Yeah, definitely. Let me say this before I forget it because I've already forgotten some shit that I was gonna say. But so I guarantee you, all of you will fucking agree with me on this. Like the CXP that I think went well, and I think that is amazing, that got people, like, I think the best thing about this patch is the amount of people that started playing ranked PvP just because it gave more CXP. Like, that thinking or that mindset was brilliant, you know what I mean? Because in the last since the patches released, I don't know, it was 2-3 months, I've played more ranked PvP than I have in the entire 4 years of playing the game. And I think if they could like channel that kind of like thought process into other things like ops and stuff, like they would get people to play this game again, man. Like I mean, have you guys played as much ranked as I have? I mean, I've had a lot of fun in ranked, and I think they did really well with that, but I mean, they need to translate that to other aspects of the game.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I'll
what
tell
I
you
was.
that Beastfury, ranked, and fun don't belong in the same sentence. I'll tell you that much.
B sucks at ranked,
mean-
but that's probably the best part
Oh no,
about
I
this.
don't just suck. There's
The
a
best part
whole
about
new
this
level of suck.
Well, that's
is that
everybody was afraid to go into ranked to get crushed because, you know, but then like they added, there was no reward to go into rank. Like before it was like you do this and you get like this little bit of ranked gear that's going to take you 3 years to become best in slot. But now people weren't afraid because the incentives outweighed the, you know, the possible losses. So people were like, fuck it, I don't care if I'm shitty. I get 600 CXP to lose. Fuck, I'll do some ranked.
yeah, I mean it
Yeah,
gave us something
I mean,
new
like,
to do, but
Dongo, what do you say?
no, but say it's fun because it gave us like at least people I play with, we started playing like a hella ranked just when we're not raiding and stuff because it's fun and it's like something new to learn, get good at. But like even that got ruined because there's been like hackers and shit on Harbinger that just ruined the queue. So you can't even play the I don't know. You just have to wait 15 minutes for you to lose the game to get your CXP. It's really annoying.
When you say
Same on
hacking,
the other clips.
when you say hacking, what are they doing when they hack? Cause
He leaves the map and just stalls until the acid comes and you have to sit there and die.
Yeah,
oh, that's
we have a
dumb.
guy that does that on the Red Eclipse as well.
He plays like
does
20
that.
hours a day.
Please don't name him.
That's redonkulous.
Clearly, your solution is you need to find out those 4 hours that he doesn't play
No,
and
that's
only play
that's when
during
I'm
that
allowed
time.
to play the game. But besides that, I just like, or else my rating's fucked. So
Yeah, but a lot of people don't seem to care about raiding. They just want the CXP. One of the things about like the CXP system, though, that it has done in a positive way, even though it is like inherently negative, has banded people together as a community instead of having like that animosity between certain like aspects. Like PvEers and PvPers, in my experience, don't generally get along that well. From what I've seen at least, and there's always been that complaints, but the CXP thing and how much people dislike it actually made the community band together to say, hey, we don't like this. But also on a negative note, there are people that have turned around, and while they disagree with the CXP system, they are just recommending changes. There are lots of people, myself included, that have said, hey, we don't like this system, we want the old system back. There are so many people that have done that, but there are people that also share the mindset that, hey, this CXP system sucks, we don't like it, we would prefer the old system back, including PvPers. They want their expertise back, they want their PvP gear back.
Well, they don't even have to do that. They could do both. You know, they could keep the CXP around for people who want to farm solo shit. You know what I mean? And be like, hey, if you're just gonna do solo shit, you can get rewards out of this. But they can't take away one aspect of the game and be all, oh, fuck you, raiders. You know, we're gonna take away your raiding gear. And you know, there's essentially no way to go in there and do, you know, stuff unless you go in there and farm CXP, and that's just dumb.
Yeah,
I mean,
but like, what's it?
Alright.
What's it called? they what's it called? They said they announced those changes like, oh, like last bosses in raids are gonna give a piece of gear. But they're still clinging to their RNG thing, and they're saying, oh, the bosses leading up to the last boss will have a percentage chance to drop gear. It goes up in increments of 5%, like 25, 30, 35, I believe I read somewhere. And it's like, we don't want that. We want the old system back. And one of the things that really irritated me completely is the people that disagreed with the system, they were proposing changes to the system. They weren't saying, hey, just remove it, we don't want it. They were saying, hey, just change it like this, and like that. One of the things that made Ben Irving really salty, because if I'm not mistaken, it was his idea. He was on the stream and he was like flagshipping the campaign for it, like, hey, this is a good system and stuff like that. He looked really salty. His facial expressions dropped as he read through the comments on the Twitch chat, and nobody wants it. So he's just desperately trying to cling to some element of RNG by introducing these changes and introducing the catch that, hey, you need your command tokens gained from ranks. It's just not what the people want, but they're still trying to cling to it. And they know that this system did a lot of damage, because almost everybody that was an active subscriber got surveys in their inbox, in their emails, linked to their account. Hey, look, what do you think we can do better? Because they know that they fucked up.
Yeah, and somebody said something in Twitch chat with crafting. It's pretty much unnecessary to actually go in there and get gear drops, and he's absolutely right. And I can speak on behalf of him. Like I said, man, you go in there and you do what nightmare ops you could do. Like we got Nephra down, and then we did a few other of the nightmare ops and learned some mods and enhancements. And from there, like, I mean, we learned a barrel, and it was essentially useless to go in there and actually get gear because, you know, we crafted everything for the guild. So essentially, like, the progression is done. And, you know, I think the longevity of the progression could have been restored if they would have kept that stuff in the game. Whatever.
It's like I said before, the Galactic Command System is their new sub incentive. So they're not going to just get rid of it. They're not willing to just get rid of it. They'd have to think of an entirely new way to keep people subbed. So they're willing to at least make it look like, and by what they're doing in January, make small changes to the Galactic Command System, but it's still going to take you long. It may be slightly faster for people who play PvP and do operations, but it's still going to take you fucking, you know, months to get a character fully geared in 242.
Yeah.
Which that, I mean, that it hasn't been like that in anything, you know what I mean? Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, so they might make little changes. In, you know, 6.0, they might have a completely new system. They may even just reset your Galactic Command. They may add another 300 levels. It's going to be something like that to create another sub-incentive.
All right, so...
Which is... I think that's fine as long as the content is there. I like I said, I don't mind grinding at all as long as the content is there for me to do and keep me motivated to come back, you know?
Yeah. So let's move off CXP. I don't want to sit here and fucking flame on CXP for an hour. Everybody knows it's shit. So we're gonna move on to something that's like really near and dear to my heart because I like the difficulty of some ops, and I don't like it when people are able to get around difficulty of ops by abilities. I mean, DPS wise, and that is Reflect, and Beast is gonna get mad at me about this because he plays a jug very often, but I just think fucking the Reflect is retarded. It's dumb. One class has it or had it before the patch, and now what is it? Fucking six.
Two had it.
No, two. Which two had it?
Vanguard and Juggernaut.
That wasn't Reflect. That was just a passive that had to do with your abilities, and they accounted for that in the DPS. So, but like so. The Vanguard couldn't go stand in the fire of Tyrants and do 40k DPS, you know what I mean? That's just dumb.
And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Sonic Rebounder.
Well, okay, so I'll give you that. So I'll concede on that. The Sonic Rebounder, I guess it deserved a nerf in some cases, like when you're on the what is it? The Commanders. What the fuck is that useless fight on TOS that you're playing all the ads?
Fourth boss, no idea what the name.
Revenite Commanders.
Yeah, the Commanders. So you would you'd Sonic Rebound on Curse, and it would reflect a bunch of damage to him. That's dumb. Any way you can cheese DPS, in my opinion, is just it detracts from the difficulty of the game. So the Jugs had it before the patch, and you know you'd go on walkers. The DPS check on walkers was it wasn't even there because you just bring 2 Jug tanks and you wouldn't even have to do anything. The Jug tanks could reflect and kill the walker by themselves, and anytime that you can do that, I think, you know, they need to do something so you can't get around that. But so now I can't remember how many classes, but I know the Merc has it, the Operative,
Operative, Assassin, Jug, well, PowerTech Vanguard still due to Sonic Rebounder. But it's not a problem of ability itself, problem is of them basically those being lazy, not removing option of going under that walker and having Reflect working on it.
Yeah.
Like they removed floor vents when people were reflecting floor vents. That was removed. Later on, they didn't give a fuck about anything.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just I'm gonna just jump in and clarify something. Beastfury does not play drug very much. That's the the dong beetle.
Okay.
But as for, I mean, it honestly goes back to PTS and the lack of raiders actually invited on the PTS to actually test their new ops. Because the reason why Sin Reflect and Operative Reflect and Merc Reflect is so broken is that they didn't, at least specifically for ops, is they weren't bringing in people to, at least not the right people, to play the ops and test out the reflect and say like, hey, you guys did not put a cap on this, it's fucking broken as hell, fix it.
Yeah, I mean,
So
we would
they
have noticed
released
it in the
and
first
then-
first 5 minutes of playing the Writhing Horror when, you know, the fucking Sin tank one-shots the Writhing Horror 30 seconds after the fight starts, you know, like that could have been negated, you know, if they would have actually got people to test it.
Yeah,
Exactly,
but
I mean,
people wouldn't want to test it. Like, there's nothing new to test, and like as it stands, we're here and we're like, let's be honest. We want new ops. That's what we want. Like at the end of the day, like why would we want to go and test like rescale content again and again and again? Yeah, like me personally, I would have liked to have tested it purely to ensure that it was scaled correctly, that there weren't any stupid over HP'd bosses or anything like that, that the damage was right, that classes were performing right. I would have loved to have done that, but nobody wanted to. Like nobody had the effort or the energy to do that. That's why it's so broken, because nobody wanted to. There were people that were invited. I know this. I know that there are a lot of people that were invited, like Nightmare Raiders as well, and they just didn't want to do it.
Test
At
up
all.
trash talking. We were doing Dark vs. Light. Look how that turned out.
Yeah, I mean, Dongo, how do you feel about the Reflect? And I mean, this is like 9 classes that have Reflect now, and it's just, I don't know. The Merc heals to full. How many times? 3 times the Merc can heal to full. Basically, a Merc is a tank with fucking blaster pistols that can stand at range, and all the Merc is missing from being a tank is having taunts. If you had taunts with a Merc, you would be a tank.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
well, it's because like all the ops and shit, like reflects didn't exist back then, so they didn't even like take that into account. And I don't know, just I feel like all these reflects and all these changes were aimed at like PvP and shit. They didn't even think about PvE, to tell you the truth. I feel like, but
Yeah, which, I mean, that leads me back to a former point that I always made. Like, there needs to be a PvP button where, like, you press that button and it specs you specifically for PvP, and there needs to be an ops button that specs you for specifically for ops in the whatever stance. It's not stance anymore, but the skill tree or whatever the fuck it's called these days. I don't
Discipline?
even know. Yeah, discipline. Yeah. The discipline you're in. There's a button.
Discipline?
So, I mean, I don't know. It's just this goes back into like they have no people testing it, and the devs like have completely no idea what they're doing with the classes, buffs, and nerfs. They got monkeys throwing darts at a dartboard to make changes.
I love that analogy, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, that's they're like, yeah, which classes are we gonna give reflect? Oh, hit the 3. Let's give it to the Merc.
You know, Jack, over a year ago when I were invited to the Bad Feeling podcast, we had the exact same discussion.
Yeah, I mean, and it did. The thing is, it's like B said, it didn't get any better with this patch. It just like back then when I was like, oh, it can't get any worse. Well, it fucking got worse. Now instead of avoiding the jug when he reflects, I have to avoid 9 other classes when they reflect. It's like, this is dumb.
I don't know. I feel like the difference this time is I'm actually fucking done. I'm not playing anymore.
Yeah,
that's the difference for me.
Yeah, I've never considered unsubbing, and I'm not considering it. I am unsubbing. As soon as this sub runs out, I'm taking my credit card off and not renewing it. And I'm gonna go kick everybody from the Hates You guild, so I keep the guild tag. And I don't know. Maybe I'll come back. Probably not.
Well, I got an account for sale, by the way. You know, segueing into. No, I'm just kidding.
it's got Deposer and Conquer. Who wants to be a Deposer?
Yeah.
Nobody even knows what that means.
Yeah,
they're like, what is that title? Oh well.
You got it from a pack, man.
Do you have 100% Dark vs. Light on that account though?
Oh yeah, of course not.
That's another point of contention with me. So they did this Dark vs. Light thing, whatever event. I farmed it for whatever till I got 100%, and then like so the progression goes. You get the rewards as you get the levels. Like there was whatever 4 levels of Dark vs. Light. Or 5, I can't remember. I get to the last fucking level and I realize that I have to wait 3 months to get my rewards. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, but that was just like a gimmick event. It was not even an event. So in like grand scale, it's not important to what we actually want from the game, right?
Yeah, so we're coming up on an hour now. Do any of you guys want to talk about anything else about this game, or I can sit here and talk about the power tech nerf, and I mean power techs were already the lowest parsing DPS in the game, AP, but a lot of their damage came from close and personal, and in my opinion it was somewhat balanced, but Power Tex was really, really good on some fights, and it was really, really fucking shitty on other fights, and that's just something that your raid group had to deal with. And now they've I leveled my power tech, and since I've leveled, I logged back onto the power tech so I could transfer all my credits to my sniper, so I didn't have to log back on the power tech anymore. And I really haven't played my power tech just because they got nerfed so badly. And they buffed all the other classes, and then they nerfed power techs into the ground, and it's to the point where I don't even want to play it.
I mean, we've had a power tech in a lot of our kills. I feel like they still have their strengths and all. They're just not like really good on everything. But I think the biggest problem is the double stance bug. That shit is stupid. I don't even know how that exists. Like,
Yeah,
makes like assassins crazy, ridiculously strong tanks and DPS and shit like that. I just want to know like how they didn't even fix that in the new patch either. When they fixed reflex, like, do they not know, or do they just not care? I don't know.
I feel like it's good having different classes that have different strengths. I don't like when you have the raid group, which means that you only have these 8 characters that can do the content. You know what I mean? I feel like that's really stupid. I think it should be any mix of DPS can do any type of content. It shouldn't, when you buff certain classes, it ends up being like when we were doing fucking S&V Nightmare on tiers. We had 3 marksman snipers and fucking power tech, dude. There was no other reason to run anything else. I don't know how many of you guys were doing that on tier, but
Well, I wasn't. I
Someone
wasn't
just
even
say
playing.
on tier.
Holy shit.
don't
Yeah.
don't say on tier in front of Nam. He'll get mad because all of his achievements are level 65s.
yeah. So when I mean on tier, I mean like at level 50 or 55 or whatever it was.
Still have
Yeah,
nightmares of your healing last year. That amount of DPSing and me constantly at 20%. That's just.
On which one? TFB? Are you talking about me?
Yeah, TFB both and SNV as well.
Oh, dude, I was pulling. No, you get bored, dude. Hitting the green buttons. It's fucking lame, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody ever says I healed that guy for 25k, dude.
Did you see how fucking hard I healed that guy? I was getting it. I was getting some. God, it was good.
Nobody ever goes big dick healing. That just doesn't exist. Sorry, healers are not even really people.
Oh my god.
So anything else? Nobody got anything else? Well, this is the last stream. We got 140 viewers. What do you want to say to them?
Are we wrapping this up or what?
I mean, we can.
That's
but
a point. There's a point, like, that I've just noticed as well, like, what would it take to make you stay? What would it take to bring you back if you're definitely leaving? Like, haven't touched on that. What would it take?
Oh, okay, so yeah, we can talk about that and then wrap it up. And like, I can go first, and I think probably people have similar opinions, or I know Curt is gonna differ because I think Curt's pretty much done. But this is, like I said, I'm already unsubbing. This is like the last straw. This is the straw that broke the camel's back, and I think what it would take for me to come back is Battlefield would be like really shitty, which I don't think it's going to be. I think Battlefield, I think the DICE devs are going in a good direction with the game. It is the best Battlefield that I've played class balance wise on release. There's some bugs with the game that I really I find really frustrated. I think the web browser based fucking joining a server is just like utter shit, and I don't know why they did it, but like I can get past that. But so that being said, if the SWTOR devs came out and said, hey, we're deving, current ops, we're deving future ops, and we don't have a release date yet, but it's going to be within a year, I think I could get on board with coming back under the pretense that they stay true to their promise, which I mean, I'm putting really unreasonable stipulations on the table. If they stay true to their promise and they release at least an operation, if not, the dual operations like, DF and DP once a year. And they don't even have to be Nightmare. They could be story mode and hard mode, just as long as it doesn't have to be completely on par with hard mode Rev and hard mode Cortani, but it should be somewhat within the difficulty level of hard mode Revan and hard mode Cortani. I could see myself coming back to this game and playing this game with, friends.
Can I ask you something?
What's up, mate?
So once you kill it in, let's say, 8-man story, 8-man hard, 16 story, 16 hard, what then?
We'll do the same exact thing that we did to Revan, like we farmed the shit out of Revan. In my opinion, was such a fun boss, man. Like, or TOS and Ravagers, like they did so well with those ops, aside from some of the bullshit that went along with those ops, like,
Okay, second part of the question. What's the incentive of killing it more than once you have the achievements? Because there's nothing left.
Well, that's the thing. The CXP will get adjusted. It's going to drive enough people away where they're going to wake up. They're either going to wake up or the game is going to die, and they're going to move on to another.
In your channel timed out.
They're going to move on to another game because
user entered your channel.
They're going to move on to another game because, nobody's paying any money to play this game. So they're either going to wise up and, put gear back in the game and make it so that hardcore Nightmare Raiders have a place to go.
But the incentive for me is I like streaming and I like helping people out that can't do it. So I don't really go out and go in some random raids and help people out, help people do shit that they couldn't do. That's just, I like to do that, but
yeah, that's fun for a while, but when you think about it, you invest X amount of hours into it, and at the end of the day, what does it drop? A little token that grants you XP and nothing else.
Really, that question could be asked to any MMO ever, and the same question is, it's up to you what it's worth. It's kind of a personal thing.
At least previously, that you could, get gear and put that gear towards a new member, or put that gear towards
they
old
should
members,
change that back, but I don't think they're going to. But who knows?
Like also, when Nightmare power buffs were active, DFDP times, like you would get a special title. That was an incentive. You would get like exclusive mounts, which later became not exclusive anymore. Looking at Eternal Championship, like they just reskinned Johnny Groptalk.
Yeah.
But like those were big incentives of raiding. Those no longer exist.
I mean, for me, it's the devs need to. Everyone that they got working on the game needs to like find a passion. They need to find people that have a passion for the game, and want to make all different content for all aspects of the game, not just story. They feel BioWare has come out and said that they feel that they found their niche. It's story, blah blah blah. They're going to give us story. I mean, look at Blizzard. Dongo knows I've fucked around about it in It's Lit raids and stuff, but from this game I'm pretty much moving over to Hearthstone. I really enjoy it. It's a simple game, but they do actually provide content in it, but And that's a game developed by Blizzard. Blizzard also has WoW. You know, they also have a MOBA, Heroes of Storm. You know, they don't stick to one thing. You know, WoW comes out with things for the entire game. They don't just come out with raids. They come out with, you know, dailies and, you know, all this other stuff. So, you know, sticking with our niche's story, we're going to give story in an MMO and expect you to pay for it doesn't really cut it. And they need to find people that have the passion to do whatever they can to make the game as good as they can.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, like it can't work. Like if you want story, you just like go wait out like Torment Tides of Numenera or something like that, because that will actually have amazing story. This shit doesn't.
Dongo, you got anything to add?
I don't know. The only reason I play this game is for the people I play with. Really, like if I still have like people I enjoy playing with, or like something fun to do with them, like that's why I play. If I don't, there's no reason to play. Like if you want to play an MMO, you go play a real MMO. Like
yeah, I totally agree. That's the only reason that kept me here for so long is the people that play it. I've met some really cool people playing the game, and I really enjoyed spending like raid time with them, and that's really what kept me here the longest.
Yeah, same with me in the raiding. I'm not going to leave, and this might raise a few eyebrows, but I'm not going to be leaving the game anytime soon. I do enjoy playing it, even though the content's old and I'm frustrated and I want new content, I still am gonna stay and raid until everyone's gone, and then I'll probably still be stood here for quite a while. I might make new friends if all the other people disappear, but like all the current people that I play with, if they all disappear, then I'll still probably still be stood here. But for what it'll take, if they really don't do anything within the next year or so, then I'm probably gonna be at a point that you guys already are, like I'm unsubbing or I'm gonna unsub. But for now, like I'm not happy with the game, but it's still comfortable. Like that's my standpoint on it. Like it's gonna take might make new friends. I've given like a time bracket, and that's pretty much it for me.
You're lucky you were not born a female. You would marry some wife beater for sure.
Or get pregnant really easily.
And stay with the wife beater. It's not so bad. I'll stick around.
Yeah, he beats me, but afterwards he cries.
All right, well then that about sums it up. I mean, that's everybody what their outlooks and their views on where this game is going, which is, I mean, in my opinion, it's not going to a good place.
Yeah.
I welcome all of you to come play Battlefield 1 with me. It is fucking an amazing game. It is a lot of fun. It is kind of frustrating at first because you get owned again and again, but if you stay with it, you'll get better. But we're gonna wrap this up. So this is another Rage Brothers broadcast brought to you by TcThief and TcMeat. Once again, go to the YouTube channel, like, subscribe. I got my
Before we go, do you guys want to link your social media or anything like that? Good talk. Go ahead.
Nobody has any social media they want to link.
Can I link my Twitter and Instagram?
Forrest, you're not even supposed to be here. Shut up. Everybody say shut the fuck up, Forrest, for once on the stream.
Fafa, I'm
throw
really
my Twitch and
disappointed in
Twitter
you right
in there
now.
if you want.
Yeah, go ahead and
What did I do?
go ahead and say your Twitter.
Why is Forrest not banned yet?
That's very true. Let's place him in timeout room.
No, Overwatch. Let's go.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, let's hear it. Test
User was
Twitch
moved out of
and
your
what do you call it? Twitter.
User joined your channel.
It's the same. Oh my god, welcome back first. My Twitch is obviously
User in your channel
twitch.tv/oddbucko.
was
That's
kicked from the server.
ODBUCKO, and the same with my Twitter is exactly the same, twitter.com/oddbucko. I can also give Jack a link to put in the YouTube if you're interested in following me for any
User
peculiar
joined your
reason.
channel.
Yeah, just go ahead and send me all that information. I'll link it in the description. Dongo, you got any social media you want to post?
Twitch TV/FunkyPhilip.
Funky Philip.
Funky Philip. All right, good.
Beastfury.
Twitch TV, Beastfury with 2 T's.
All right. And then Fafa.
Well, nothing. But when I become the first solitaire streamer, I'll let you know.
The only left.
Kevin, you got anything?
/Curt 6666.
So /Curt with 4 6s. All right. I think that's everybody. Did I forget anybody? Negative.
I don't think so. Go.
All right, so now this has been a Rage Brothers broadcast brought to you by TcThief and TcMeat. Once again, like and subscribe the YouTube channel, please. Comment. We need to translate these 140 viewers right now I have on Twitch to YouTube viewers. So come watch our videos. We're pretty funny guys. I mean, funny in our own minds. So if you don't think we're funny, just comment and send me all your rage because I love it. Your tears taste like Skittles to me. Once again, I'm TcThief at twitch.tv/TcThief, and then my Twitter is at TcThief. And then also, Mark, go ahead.
And I'm TcMeat, or Cat Like
Was
Thief.
that the whole sentence, or?
Oh my god. My Twitter is at Cat Like Thief, and my Twitch is /Cat Like Thief 10. Anyways.
Hi.
Hi.
All right. See
And
you
we're
guys
done,
later.
right? All right, good deal. This is really awkward silence.
User in your channel
I had to
timed
stop
out.
recording. All right, hey, if you
Oh,
guys...
he left already. He dropped immediately.
Who did? Dongo?
Fafa.
Fafa fucking, he's like, later.
He's all drop. See ya.
I thought it was Dongo because Dongo's really quiet.
Is over, so he's out.
Yeah, he's on later, bitches. Yo, so right now, post in channel all your information and I'll post it on the video.
I've just poked you. Well, I put it in like a chat with you on TeamSpeak, Jack, like my 2 links.
Can all of you guys post it in the box of shame or no? So I can...
Everyone can type in the channel.
Yeah, so I can just cut and
Don't
copy.
have permissions.
Nah.
You don't have permissions?
Negative.
Well, here, let's move up to Cantina and type it in the Cantina.
Channel switched. User joined your channel. User joined your channel.
Hello,
User
friends.
joined your channel.
Shut your mouth.
I'm gonna start poking you on Facebook again.
Do it.
User was moved
Do
out
it,
of your
pussy.
channel.
And
User
that's
joined your channel.
first.
User was moved to your channel.
We have insufficient permissions just to move up there. Up here. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Hold
User
on.
was moved to your channel.
These guys are fucking TeamSpeak Nazis, man.
Oh my god, I still don't have permissions up here to put the Twitch.
Oh my god.
User was moved to your channel.
Why not?
Here, can we just like PM you? How about that? Let's see if that works.
Just send it to me, and I'll just post it all in one big thing that he can copy paste.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, wake up.
How's he gonna send it to you? A letter?
I poked Thief.
Send all your stuff to Tess, and he's gonna compile it on a list. Do it.
I
No,
just
send it to
fucking
Tess.
PM'd you
User
on
joined your
Discord now.
channel.
I'll do it to Tess too.
If
Oh
you
my
guys
God.
How do
PM me,
you guys not have permissions here?
if you guys PM me on 100 different platforms, I am not fucking going to all these goddamn different social medias to post your info. We'll just have to go with what you said on stream. Typing is hard.
Can't even send a message, dude. What is this shit?
Jesus Christ, so
Poke
many
'em.
bad people in
Just
the channel
poke 'em,
below.
that's what I
Poke 'em.
did.
You
My
guys
shit literally
recruit
says that I
Zada
poked
and
Thief
Kyle?
Tess.
Why would you do such a thing?
There's no one left.
User joined your
no one left.
channel.
It's just
User
these
left
little
your
apps,
channel.
dude. This shit is fucking retarded.
Lol, come on.
Forrest, let's go CSGO.
In a